Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the invisible rules that keep our modern lives powered up and, more importantly, safe. We're talking about the critical math that prevents electrical disasters everywhere, from your kitchen to the tallest skyscrapers.
So let's start with the scene I'm pretty sure we've all been through. You're getting your day started, right? The toasters go in, the coffee makers brew in, maybe you've got the microwave running. You plug in just one more thing, and then you hear it, that sharp, distinct click from the circuit breaker panel. And just like that, everything in that part of the house goes dark. Now that sound, it might seem like an annoyance, but it's actually a lifesaver. It's a critical safety feature doing its job, preventing a much, much bigger problem. So what is actually happening when that breaker trips? And how on earth do engineers prevent that from happening on a massive scale? Well, that's what we're going to break down. We'll start with what electrical load even means, get into the official rulebook, and then see how it all fits together.
Okay, first things first. Before we can understand the solution, we have to really get a handle on the problem itself. What's behind that click?
Just imagine that every single device you own, every light, every appliance, every phone charger, is thirsty for electricity. The electrical load is simply the total amount of power all those thirsty devices are trying to drink at the exact same time. Every circuit is like a pipe with a limited size. If you try to push too much through it, click. The safety valve shuts it down.
Now, to prevent these constant overloads and, the potential fire hazards that come with them, there's a master plan, a really comprehensive rule book that the entire electrical industry relies on. And that master plan, folks, is Article 220 of the National Electrical Code, or the NEC. This is the absolute go-to guide. It's what electricians and engineers use to meticulously calculate and design electrical systems that aren't just going to work, but are going to be fundamentally safe.
So to really wrap your head around how Article 220 works its magic, it helps to stop thinking about a building's wiring as a messy web. Instead, I want you to visualize it as a tree. Think about it. Power comes into your house from the grid through the service. Those are the roots, pulling in all the energy. That power then travels up the main feeders, which are like the trunk of the tree. And from there, it spreads out through all the individual branch circuits, the branches that reach out and power every single outlet and light in your home. Okay, now here is the really clever part. The reason we use that tree analogy is because Article 220 itself is brilliantly structured to perfectly mirror that tree. It's not just a random list of rules, it's a logical roadmap. Just look at how this is laid out. It's so elegant. Part 2 of the code gives you all the rules for the branches, your individual circuits. Then you use that info to move on to parts 3 and 4, which tell you how to calculate the demand on the trunk and roots, the main feeders in service. It's a perfect bottom-up approach that makes sure the entire system, from the tiniest branch to the deepest root, is sized correctly. And the code is incredibly thorough. It doesn't just stop with your typical house or office building. It has whole sections dedicated to really specialized places. We're talking about the unique electrical needs of farms, the absolutely critical power systems in hospitals, and even the complicated setups you find at marinas and boatyards.
So you might be thinking, okay, this is a lot of math and a lot of rules. Why all this complexity? Why have such detailed procedures for wiring up a building? Well, the reasons are absolutely crucial.
This isn't just about bureaucracy or red tape. These calculations are first and foremost a blueprint for safety, preventing overloaded wires that could cause a fire. They build reliability, so your system can actually handle what you throw it at without constantly tripping breakers. They ensure efficiency, so the system works right from day one. And importantly, they help future-proof our buildings, so we have the capacity to add things like EV chargers down the road.
So in the end, Article 220 and these load calculations, well, that's the invisible engineering that stands between a safe, modern building and a serious hazard. It's what ensures that little click is nothing more than a minor inconvenience and not the warning shot for potential catastrophe. And that leaves us with a really big question to think about. Our electrical demands are getting more complex every single day. We're adding electric vehicles, solar panels, and all sorts of smart home tech. So how will this essential guide to safety need to adapt and evolve to keep us safe for the next 100 years of innovation?